Hey folks, welcome back to Jameson Run. On this episode, it's been a while since we made a video, and things have just been super busy. One of the things that has happened that has made life busy is in our basement, our wall over here started to leak. So I wanted to do some recording on that and the process, but unfortunately I just didn't have time. So what I ended up doing is I found that the leak was coming through the wall here, and we might have to dig into French drains, but I wanted to try this before going through all that. So I got a little bit of hydraulic cement and I smeared it along there, and it actually closed up and stopped the leak immediately. Then it took a little while to let it dry so I could paint it and those kinds of things. One of the things that I did not see on the actual can of hydraulic cement that I bought was a dry time for paint. And if you go to their spec sheets, it turns out it's between 7 and 28 days. So I don't know, a week to a month, who knows. We ended up letting it go for 20 days before we ended up painting over it. We used 3 coats of dry lock primer and then 3 coats of dry lock itself, top coat. So we just did 4 blocks up there. You can see the color paint change. But yeah, so far, knock on wood, we're doing all right with that. And then we just used latex floor paint to kind of just pretty it up a little bit. It used to be kind of a dark blue, and we're trying to brighten the room up. So went around, redid the wash tub, put that back in. We're on to making shelves. These are just rough cut shelves. Ended up making a new top here as well, because this was actually underneath. You can see it's an old graded shelf, but instead of having that and everything that we have up here that's smaller falling through the cracks all the time, I just put a quick live edge on there with a little bit of a lip. And then, of course, some under cabinet lighting just to pretty it up, make it a little more homey, you know? Make it more fun to do laundry, if that's a thing. So, we got that in place, got this in place. Right now, we're working on putting in just about an 8-foot shelf right here. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different shelves. The top's going to be about a 6-inch, and everything else in between is going to be about 17 inches. This is all rough cut cherry lumber that I did off the mill with my brother. So we were milling that the other day. Actually, yesterday, yeah, Saturday, today's Sunday. So yeah, anyway, rough cut cherry. Everything's been pretty frozen. It's been, what was it last night? It was 1 degree last night, and then I think we're at a high today of 7 or 9 degrees. So I've been bringing everything in frozen and building it and just cutting it, bringing it in and putting it in place. Again, the rough cut shelves, it'll be fine. But point is, this used to always be just cluttered with stuff. You might have saw in the beginning of the video, sitting in our bathroom at the moment, and we're just gonna put it on some shelving. So we're gonna have some shelving here. We're gonna finish that up. Then we're gonna come over here. I made that one right there. It's only 2 foot, so you have a little spot to get into the wash tub if you need. And then we're also going to go ahead and we're going to put a shelf here and then one here as well, because we have it's a small house and we need some vertical storage. So hope you enjoy. If you got any tips, tricks, ways to do it faster, please let me know. I'm always interested in that. But the plan is putting in these pieces right here. We're going to do some over here as well. Then we're going to run our long boards on the inside. We're just going to screw them right into here and here. Then we'll be able to slip our boards in, our planks, to actually sit there and make the shelves as we go along here. So hopefully you enjoy. Alright, so we're taking our 13-inch blocks. There's going to be 16-inch shelves. So 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches on this side as well. 16 total. But on one side, which is the back side here, we're going to have to, we're just countersinking. So we have a hole. Yeah, we're countersinking because, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever used cherry, cherry splits very easy. It's a hardwood, it has a really straight grain on it, and it splits super easy. So we're countersinking and we're using screws as opposed to nails, because I definitely understand that screws are not load bearing unless you buy like timber framing screws. We're using standard, the regular old construction screws, which are not load bearing in any means. They're brittle, they break, but they're load bearing enough for setting clothes and shoes and stuff on shelves. So we countersunk here as well. We're just gonna run these in a little bit. Switch it up. Oh, I did them on the wrong side. Ooh, it is time for a new countersink. If anybody has any recommendations on good countersinks, especially looking for a good set of metal drill bits, ones that don't dull very fast, you let me know, because I seem to wear out every metal drill bit set I get. Alright, so then all we'll do is we'll take this, make sure that the countersink side is on this, and we are just going to tap these into place. These are not set in stone, so we're going to be right about here. Now, whenever I'm doing this, at least for myself, I just line this up and I screw the top one in. Dead on line right there. And then I take one of these guys here and I put it in here, because I don't want this to pull it down tight and pull it too low for me and not be able to pull it up. So get this in line over here. Floor paint's holding up real well right there. And then we're gonna just drive this home a little bit, pull it up in tight. So really you're kind of guesstimating. It's a skill, I guess, I don't know. Whoop, too far. And then you can kind of set your height however you want there using that screw. Whoop. And then, yeah, that's it. Reverse it out, but put it back in on the bottom. Perfect. Now, measure them up. Lengths, we need the lengths. Here we go. Let's see, we're gonna go outside to outside. Best practice, write it down. 76 3/4 or 76.75 for all the metric folk. All right, so as you see, everything's still frozen like I was mentioning. But we'll work with it. It's a rough cut. It's winter time. That's how it goes. So we want to just do a cleanup cut on these ends here so we can get a good measurement. So you just pick somewhere so you're not wasting. All right. We're gonna come out 76 3/4. Okay, 76 3/4. And folks, don't worry, these don't go to waste. They go to other blocking for other shelves, or worst to worst, they go in my fireplace. Right there. 1 of 8. So make sure they just meet up flush there. Does this thickness matter? No, it doesn't. We're good there. Okay, so that's holding itself. Now we'll grab a level. Make sure there's a level going across, because we don't want things rolling off if they don't have to be. Whew. That's That's pretty darn good. I'll take it. Alright folks, so we got our planks in, or not planks, we got our supports in for the planks. We'll put them at 2 foot, 4 foot.
And so about me.
Yeah, and my helper's a good climber. He's been climbing the rack, testing the strength. So, we got them at 2 foot, 4 foot on each one of these.
I'm
and
test up, Pop.
test it out.
I would test things out.
Yeah, you're good at testing things out.
Yeah.
Pushing buttons, huh?
Yeah.
Mostly mine. And yeah, we got to make our planks. So we got 13. We're gonna go out and we're gonna have to saw down. I have 8-inch planks, so I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna make each plank down to 6.5 inches, so we get our 13. So out to the garage we go. Square up the edges here. We'll do 2 at a time. Folks, if anybody knows of a low profile square, one that doesn't hit the bottom of my saw every time with it buried, let me know. Maybe somebody send me one. I'd love to try it. I'd love to review it. I'd love to use it. Everyone I found, it's kind of tall on this side. It's just a little too much. All right. What's up, helper man? Oh, excuse me, officer.
Hi.
Am I making too much noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that complaint a lot.
I think you have to go to the jail cell.
Go to jail? I'm getting arrested for cutting wood?
Yeah.
What kind of? Can I carry all 8 of these in one run? Of course I can, Mom. I'm a guy. We don't do multiple trips. It's the same thing as groceries. 3 trips? No, all in one trip. Struggle like crazy. That's better. If anybody can tell me why my Ryobi gun does that, you let me know. It's like a shot and then a miss. That's it. One angle here. That'll work. Alright folks, well hey. With the exception of sweeping, I'm gonna get the shop back, get a brush on it, come through and see this stuff that's falling on it. See it falling off a little bit there. It's all just sawdust from the mill. It was frozen to it. When these warm up tomorrow, next day, we're just gonna go ahead and come back with a sweeper, shop back it up. Place is a mess. But appreciate you watching this one. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna make one for here. We're gonna make one for over there. We already made one for right there. It's just a little 2-footer. And yeah, then we're gonna load them up. So hopefully I get some help doing that. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Jameson Run. Tune in for the next one. See you then.